Hey, this is Tom Styles. Welcome back. Did you hear that bass? Turn it back up. It's playing music now. Do you hear the bass in that thing? That thing is really booming. And unfortunately, it's a boo boo. I made a mistake. And I was debating whether even doing this show. But hey, we make mistakes and we got to just accept them and move on. So I'm going to do this review despite the major mistake I made, and I'll tell you about that mistake in a few minutes. I actually ordered two things. I ordered this radio and I ordered a multi-channel USB strip. And while I was waiting for that to come in, or those things to come in, I was looking for something else, and lo and behold, I found I already had two USB strips. Oh well. So now I got three. So we won't talk about that. Let's talk about this. This is a multifunctional dual channel digital MP3 radio speaker. I thought, since it emphasized the word speaker, that this was a speaker amplifier also, so that you could plug in something external into this and use it as a speaker amplifier. Wrong, 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 wrong. I screwed up. Now, I'll try to give you an excuse why I screwed up. Whether it's good excuse or not, well, we'll let you decide. On Amazon, several or many sellers who have similar products will have one ad, and they will have one major item shown in that ad, and then they'll have these little icons of similar items. And to get information about those other items, you have to select the icons, and then the information will change and the price will change. But there's only one main ad, so it gets a little confusing. And this particular vendor sells a ton of these radios in different form factors and with different functions. So I found this one. This is the one I thought I was looking for. I was looking for a little stereo amplifier that could be used with my computer or my laptop to provide stereo speakers that are amplified. That's what I was looking for, in a nice compact format, so that if I want to use it with a laptop, I didn't have a bunch of wires to hook up, just one wire to hook up. Well, I got confused because I was reading some of the reviews. This is on Amazon. I was reading some of the reviews, and one of the top reviews, the gentleman was talking about the auxiliary input. And I said, okay, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. He was talking about, the quality is good and the audio is good and all this stuff. I said, okay, that's what I want. It was $17. $17. So I jumped at it. And I got it home. I got it in the mail. And let's go to the radio. Let's go to the radio. Okay, here's the radio. This is a USB memory dongle, which that's where I'm playing my music from. And I got the radio home, and yesterday I says, okay, I better start looking at this so I can do a review of it. And I'm looking for the auxiliary input. And I'm like, it's not up there. And I have almost an identical radio, except it's mono. It looks like that. And it has an auxiliary input over here. Well, guess what? No auxiliary input. I can't believe it. I'm like, how did I screw up? Oh. So I went back to the ad on Amazon, and I looked at the review, and I was about ready to write the guy who did the review. He says, hey, you talk about an auxiliary input, and there ain't none. And so I'm looking at his review, and he reviewed one of the other radios that you can select from this particular ad. And it's the other one I've got, which is mono, and it does have an auxiliary input. Oh, jeez, I can't believe. This is one of the problems, or one of the things you have to watch out for on Amazon, is that they have these ads from sellers who sell a whole bunch of products. And if they're similar products, they will have one ad, and you have to pick which option you want. But if you read the reviews down below the ad, they could be about any one of those products. And that's the mistake I made. So that's the mistake I made. So anyway, I could send this back because Amazon has got a great return policy. You package up the item back into all its original boxes and paperwork and everything. You took it over to UPS. Well, you ask for a mailing label so that they pay for the return. You take it over to UPS and you just drop it off. And what I typically do is ask them for a receipt. They won't necessarily give you one unless you ask, and then they'll be glad to give you one. So I get a receipt that I did actually mail it. By the time I get back home, I've already gotten the credit from Amazon because UPS scans it in, and then that information somehow gets to Amazon, and they know, oh, you're sending us this item back. And so you get a credit. You get a credit. And as long as the box that you sent them has what you said you were sending them, the credit is good and you can spend that credit. So I could send it back. $17. Nah, it's not worth the effort. Plus, it works darn good, except for it doesn't have auxiliary input. So let's just look at it here for a second. That's what you were hearing at the beginning of the show. See what we got right now. This is music. I downloaded the music from the YouTube free library, and I've got it all on this stick. Probably, I don't know, 100, 200 recordings on this stick, which I use for my shows. So that's what you're hearing. And the sound, and I don't know if my microphone is doing it justice, but the sound from these two speakers it's unbelievable. And I can turn the volume up, which is really loud, too loud for me, and they don't distort. And the audio I heard or played at the beginning had a bunch of bass, and these things are just booming that bass out. I can't believe how good these two little speakers, giving you stereo, sound. Now, the one thing I have not been able to verify, and I could use a suggestion, is I tried to find a test MP3 file that would test stereo capability of an MP3 player. Now, I found plenty that would test your stereo speakers on your computer that you play directly off of the internet, but I couldn't find a download MP3 file that would test the speakers. I found a couple, but they were like, all he did is put out a tone at different frequencies. I was looking for music, for instance. Didn't have to be music, but music, for instance, that would play one channel and then the other channel slide back and forth so I could see how good the stereo separation is. I did not find it. If anybody could point me to one, I'd appreciate it. So this radio will play from USB, and this is full USB port, a SD card, which plugs in the bottom, or it has an FM tuner. So it will play from those three sources. It does have a headphones jack, which I was hoping that was a dual port, in that was an input and output, and it's not. And the FM receiver in this thing is unbelievable. I did a scan. You can hit this button right here, and it will scan to the FM band, find the strong channels, save it in memory. I don't remember how many memory channels it has, but it saves it in memory. It's got a bunch. and then you can select those as you wish. These are the, oops, let me get it up here. You can see it. These are the channel back, channel forward, pause, play. And in this display right now is showing the number of seconds into a recording, or if you're in the FM mode, it shows you the frequency of the FM station. The other thing that was unbelievable is I did the scan and it was finding, I think I found like 30 stations, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then I realized I didn't even have the antenna extended. It was collapsed just like this. And it found 30 stations, at least 30 stations. So the receiver in this thing, the FM receiver, is really unbelievable. And it's just a little tiny chip. It's inside this thing for the FM reception. You can use this keypad down here to either select a given channel on your MP3 device, or when you're in the FM mode, you can direct tune an FM station. So let's see, let's go to FM. Okay, I'm in the FM mode right now, and there's a station that I had selected when I did the previous video, 93.3. Now turn it up for a second. Hopefully it's not playing any music. No. Now, you can see that it's struggling a little bit because I don't have the antenna extended. Doing good right now. But if I go down, there, he lost it there. But I can't believe it's getting that. Let me shut these dinglings off. You can see how sensitive it is even with the antenna down. So we can direct tune, and let me think of another station. 95.5 I think is one. 955. I may be wrong. Okay, now it's direct tune to that, and I don't remember. Nope. I've forgotten where the station is. I don't listen to FM radio that much. I mainly listen to MP3s, so I don't remember FM stations that well. So anyway, even though it doesn't have an auxiliary input, and I really don't know if they have, I need to go back, I don't know if they have a stereo one that has auxiliary input, that combination. They do have one, it looks exactly like this, and it has a Bluetooth interface, which is stereo, so you can hear like from your cell phone, transmit Bluetooth, it will pick that up. So they do have that. It's about $25. But I don't know if they have one that I was looking for. Well, so I admit I made a mistake here. Kind of tried to explain away the mistake in that the advertising on Amazon can be at times a little confusion. So anyway, that's the show. I do like this radio. I will put a link in the description to it on Amazon. The model number is L288. It does not really have a name, a brand. It doesn't have a brand. Of course, there's a lot of these radios that are unbranded, so that other big sellers can have the manufacturer put their name on it. This one doesn't appear to have any name. Oh yeah, it does. Here it is. Here it is. Right here on the little label they put on there, it's DWANT. D-E-W-A-N-T. WANT. DWANT. DWANT is probably the seller's name, and yeah, it's probably the seller's name is DWANT. So again, I'll put the link in the description. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. Feel sorry for this old man that made a mistake. No inputs. Bye-bye.